Hi there. Lester Fields here. The last thing I remember was being in Vault 112 and sitting in something called a Tranquility Lounger. But now I'm in a suburban neighborhood, but where? And where's my dad?
Hey there, sport. Beautiful day, isn't it? Say, you should go talk to Betty. She's waiting for you over on the playground. Have fun, sport.
I'm approached by a Mr. Nussbaum, and it's only now that I realize I'm a child? Curiouser and curiouser. Mr. Nussbaum suggests I go talk to Betty, and so I head on over to the Central Park area. I run into a dog named Doc, and after giving him some praise, I look for Betty. I see a little girl watering flowers and approach her.
Hi there. Oh, someone new to play with. What good luck I have lately. I was just starting to get bored. Oh, we're going to have so much fun. I'm Betty. I live here on Tranquility Lane. Want to play a game? We're going to play a game now, silly. That's what's going on. Gee, I don't know. What's he like? That's your daddy? Oh, we're going to have so much fun. This is going to be the best game ever. I knew you would. It's a really simple game. All you have to do is make Timmy Nussbaum cry. He's the only other kid that lives here besides you. He's a big crybaby. You'll see. Make him cry, and then come back here so we can talk some more.
This Betty is just a little psychotic. She wouldn't give me a straight answer about my dad and asks me to play a game where I make another kid named Timmy Nussbaum cry. Goodness knows I don't want to do that, but I seek out Timmy anyway. And at a homemade lemonade stand...
Hiya. Hi there, I'm Timmy. Wanna play? What? No, she didn't. Did she? I don't like her. She's creepy, and she laughs at stuff that isn't funny. What? You're weird. Bye-bye.
Timmy doesn't believe this is a simulation. He also thinks Betty is creepy, and on that point, I agree with him. Circumnavigating the entirety of Tranquility Lane, I discover that it is a closed circle. How am I going to get out of here? I talk to some other adults.
Hiya, kiddo. What's the good word? Is that so? Well, you ought to tell that to my big toe, kiddo. Hurts like the dickens since I stubbed it earlier today. Feels pretty real to me.
What? Oh, sweetie. Maybe you should just run along and play.
But no one here seems to understand that this Tranquility Lane is just a simulation. I try to access my Pip-Boy, but it's gone, replaced with a Vault Boy watch, set at 2:55. Then I come across Old Lady Dithers.
You don't belong here. You're not supposed to be here. It's not real, none of it. It needs to end. The suffering must end. We're not really here. We're not really talking. It's all made up. Make-believe. We're sleeping, dreaming. The dream became a nightmare. It has to end. It just has to. But we're not in charge. He is. And he doesn't want us to wake up. He calls himself Betty now, but he's still the same. He can put on a new face all he likes, but underneath he's still evil. Braun. Bastard thinks because he helped create this place, he's God here. But I know he still uses the fail-safe terminal. I know it. Don't know. Can't sleep sometimes. Hear voices. My own skin doesn't feel right. None of this is right. You've got to believe me. You've got to find that fail-safe. It's in the abandoned house. He doesn't want us going in there because he's afraid we might find it. It's the only terminal to the outside. The only way to shut the whole thing down. You've got to find it.
Finally, she understands that this is all made up. She tells me that everyone is suffering here in this simulation. The scientist Braun is in complete control, though he's disguised himself as Betty. Could this be the same Braun that my dad came here to find? There's no way I'm helping Betty, Braun, torture these folks. Old Lady Dithers spoke of a failsafe and recommended I look at the abandoned house. There's only one house in the neighborhood that has no name on the mailbox. This must be the abandoned house. I get myself inside. But there's nothing but some old junk in here. I look around, but nothing out of the ordinary catches my eye. Wait, the junk itself. I can activate each piece individually, and doing so in a certain order. Initializes the Vault 112 Auxiliary Command Terminal. I read the notes here and learn that the only way to end these people's suffering permanently is to activate Braun's failsafe. There's a Chinese invasion program that will bring an invading force of Chinese soldiers here to Tranquility Lane. Soldiers who will kill the residents here and cause them to die in real life. All except Braun, who will be left here all alone. I couldn't think of a more fitting fate for this sadistic scientist, and I initiate the failsafe. Outside, the soldiers have already arrived and began mowing down the poor people who've been trapped in this simulation for so long. In the park, I notice a doorway has suddenly appeared and then confront Betty.
Do you realize what you've done? You've triggered the failsafe, ruined everything. The subjects will die and I'll be stuck here in this hell alone.
You ruined everything! Everything!
You've taken them all from me. You've left me with nothing.
It's not fair. Nobody to play with ever again.
It is not over. It is not over until I say so. Do you understand me? I
just want things to go back the way they were.
He's been right here the whole time. And you were too dense to figure it out. The dog. you see.
Man's best friend. But now you've taken all my friends from me. My name is Stanislaus Braun. I'm a Vault-Tec scientist. I created this simulation for Vault-Tec, but for myself as well. It was my own design, my own perfection. A better reality than any other. Far greater than my work on the Gek.
The Garden of Eden creation kit. It was for terraforming, for restoring the world after a nuclear disaster. Unstable technology, and ultimately boring. Why remake the old reality when instead you could create any reality you choose? Yes, I'm sure he's fine. No doubt when you leave the simulation, he'll be waiting for you.
But there's no one waiting for me.
Isn't it obvious? You've run the failsafe, disrupted everything. I have no power over you.
There's the door. Go. Run along now.
Betty tells me in a voice that alternates between that of a little girl and that of Braun himself that my dad has been the dog this whole time. And if she wasn't lying, my dad should be waking up from the simulation as soon as I exit through the doorway. Well, here goes nothing.